So Pete, is that let's get into what your job is today, right? What does Baker Tilly do? So and how you can support this community. So are you basically uh, reviewing the entries before anything's presented to the government? Is that kind of the main
More than that.
function
So,
of what
so
of your
let's.
department?
What makes us different than everyone else, and I'll die on this hill. I had a pretty good job before I came here, folks. I ran customs for the largest transportation company on planet Earth. It's global director of customs, commercial side, and it was a great job, and I loved working there, and I loved the people. I miss them every day. But when I saw the opportunity for refunds, I knew that I was going to have to go somewhere that was going to manage it correctly. Because here's the rub: we will pull all the necessary information. We'll get everything that we need, and we're going to review everything about it. So a customs house broker won't be able to tell you if it's a related party, if your transfer price was properly adjusted. That takes people that do transfer pricing every day. We have a team that will review your transfer pricing for related parties. They're also not going to help you with the tax side of things. If you bring back $1 million of duties, that means that you overpaid or that you oversold your goods in the state. So now you have a possible state income tax recovery, excise tax, franchise tax, federal income tax. I know a lot of customs house brokers. Many of them I would trust to do an entry all day long, but I'm not trusting them to do my taxes. So there's a follow on of other refund opportunities that come from this that you're going to have the right person for. Before anything goes into a client, all the data gets uploaded to our system, all the paperwork gets uploaded to our system from the brokers, more than one, two, or three, we don't care. And then individuals will review them. They will audit them from purchase order through payment, both payments, to make sure that everything aligns. They will review every 232 valuation. They will look at the 301 ways the tariffs were put in, all of it. And then we will make a recommendation to go or no go on the refund. If there were tons of problems, doesn't mean we're not going to go for the money. First, we're going to do a prior disclosure. We're going to tell the government these are mistakes that were made. We're telling you about them. Here's the money we owe you or the money you owe us for making the mistake. And then once that's sent in, then we'll protest to get the money back. This is going to be outrageously complicated. And I live for outrageously complicated. It's why I'm going to be single forever. I love the minutia, okay? But this minutia in particular, there's billions of dollars in the balance, and then follow on billions more on the tax side. This is not something you give an attorney or a customs house broker. And beyond all of that, I can't speak to your brokers, but where I came from, they were overworked to the point of exhaustion because of the changes that would happen. For those of you that are importers, please go hug a customs house broker because they're going through it. It's a job that we pride ourselves on being accurate. And when you begin to add a bunch of other elements that constantly change because the government is just suffering from schizophrenia and every day they're changing something, it forces us to try to change with it. Mistakes were going to be made. In an industry where there aren't already enough people to do the day-to-day work, you're going to dump all that responsibility on them, or go to a trade attorney who they're great when you're in trouble, but at $350 an hour, I don't want them auditing my entries. So most of our work is done on contingency. We take a percentage of the recovery, but we take care of it. You just sit back and watch us do our work, which we will do with tremendous alacrity. It will be a sight to behold. If this happens, man, there'll be no vacations. There'll be no time off. It's just going to be probably 2 years of
It's going
putting
to
my
be
head
war.
down. Yeah, and it's going to be a war because they're going to say no. They're going to say no to $1 million of possible refunds, and I'm going to march my tubby butt up to the Reagan building, and I'm going to fight these guys. I'm going to fight. We all will. Your brokers will. Your importers will. Right? There's too much at stake. Think about the anger and the rage from this community when those tariffs started. Well, it's about to be pointed in the opposite direction, and I'm here for it, man. Come at me, bro. I can't wait.
Baker Tilly is a big name, Pete. So, what's a customer size that what's the smallest duty amount that you would
Oh, I'm talking to
actually work
customers
on?
that have 10 grand. I don't care. This is personal, Robert. All right.
Well,
Like,
I guess the work involved is also proportional, right? So 10,000 in tariffs means maybe like an hour of audits, right, or 2 hours of audit or something like that.
maybe what if that $10,000 in refunds is 100 entries I've got to audit? I'm losing money on that, right? But there could be other work in there on the tax side that could be more beneficial than that. So that's why we look at every one of these individually. And if there's a small importer out there, let's say they've got like 10 entries and it's $10,000 of refunds. Just follow the process. Audit it yourself. Take a weekend off from going to the ball game and do the audit from start to finish. Gather all the necessary information, put together a pretty package, give it to your customs house broker, and say, now file this. If it's big, though, I just can't imagine companies are ready for that.
So, but that's a good segue into what can companies do now, right? Like practical terms. We have no ruling, right? So you don't want to go out and spend $100,000 on work that may not be relevant, right? So, but what's something that you can start to do now?
Number one thing to do: pull your ACE report. So it shocks me when I meet an importer who doesn't have an ACE portal account, because we paid for it with our taxes. It's not the best system, but it's not bad. And it gives you access to all the information of your importing for the past 5 years.
So the number one thing to do is open an ACE account.
ACE account, if you don't have one. If you do, start pulling your importer activity reports, and then sort it to point out all the entries where you paid an IEEPA tariff. That's all. And that's pretty straightforward, right? And then you know the total universe of possible refunds. So get access. Once you have access, pull the report. Once you pull the report, understand the universe of possible recovery. Then comes the harder part, from my opinion, which is begin to gather a file folder, physical or virtual, of all the necessary documents to do a real line audit, from purchase order through payment, and get them all in one place. There's no reason why they can't be electronic. A lot of what you need, your broker probably has resident in their system. You just have to access it and pull it. And then create a workflow. Go for the ones that would liquidate the fastest, just in case that becomes a problem. And then from the ones that liquidate the fastest, go to the biggest possible opportunity for refund, and really just audit it meticulously, looking for every single possible thing that could go wrong. Once that's done, you need to create a memo of what we're doing. For the ones that you're comfortable with pursuing a refund, there needs to be a memo of this particular case. What happened on, July the 1st, 2026, we made a time, we had a time where we put together these refund processes. Here's why, here's the basis for doing it. Here's the regulatory reason behind it. And then put that into your compliance manual for refund events, because in an audit, customs is probably going to pull some of these entries where a refund happened. They might ask you about how you did it and why you did it. So have it all there. And then constantly audit. It's such a good behavior. It's such a great habit to audit your entries. Once you've done this and gotten the refund, you might notice things that aren't necessarily correct or you have questions about. We'll start pulling more entries and asking more questions. And I know it can be a lot of work, but it's very rewarding, not only for possible refunds, but also in the future to remain compliant. None of this matters if you're not compliant, folks. It's great to get the money back. I know we're all very excited and hopeful, but your first job needs to be maintaining compliance. Use a good broker that cares about you, takes the time to train you, like we're doing right now, and lean on them when you have questions, and take that as an opportunity to get it done right. You'll find the brokerage community is extremely generous with their time to try to help you do things correctly.